with Ribbon Branch Crafts, and today we're going to do a fun little air dry foam clay cutting board project. We're going to try to make this look a little bit primitive country type of vibe. And so I have here this cookie cutter, and this is the shape of a cutting board. And then I have here some, I got this off of Etsy. This is a wood grain impression mat. I got this from Amazon. We're going to be using this. And then I also have this rectangular cutter. And then we have a few little embellishments like the Ribbon Branch Crafts fake jellies, some little banana slices, and we're going to try to do a take on like a banana Swiss roll. So the first thing that we're going to do is get some of the milk chocolate. You can get this in my Etsy shop. And just make sure that you condition your clay, and you want it nice and stretchy like this. You want to make sure you warm it up. And when that's ready, we're just going to get our cutter out, and we want to roll this fairly thick, okay? So you don't want to roll it too much at all. Like, see how thick that is? And we're going to put it on our mat and just give that a good roll. And that's what that gives you, okay? So then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our cookie cutter, and we're going to use some cooking spray. When you're using 3D cutters, you definitely need to oil them. And so it's just regular cooking spray, and I just spray it in a shallow tray, and I dip my paintbrush in, and I just go all the way around the edges on the inside and the outside. And these work really great as long as you make sure that you oil them. You can also dip these in soapy water or baby oil. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're just going to line this up about where you want it. Okay, pull that off. And then there we go. And clean up your edges a little bit. And we got our little cutting board. So I want to zhuzh ours up. Like I said, I want this to have more of a country feel. So I want to darken this up on the edges, just like this. So we have our two little cookie cutters, little cutting boards, all dusted up and ready to go. So I'm just going to set these off to the side just for a minute. And now we're going to start working with this cutter. And this is the sugar cookie color that's in my Etsy shop. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull some of this off, and then we're going to roll it out just like this. Then we're going to take our cutter, make sure you grease it, just give it a good little coat there, and we're going to go like this. And then we have a little shape like that. I'm going to go ahead and cut two of these. Okay, so we got that. So then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go in with some of the white. Okay, and then we're going to roll this out. Just like this. And then we're going to cut a couple of these out as well. We got 1 and 2. Okay, so then the next step to this is we're going to take one of our sugar cookies, and then we're going to go ahead and line this up with our white. So you have a little something like that, okay? Just give it a little bit of a press. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start rolling this in on itself. Okay? Just like that. And there we go. We just made us a little Swiss roll. So then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to make our other one really quick. So just make sure, put one, line them up as best you can. Okay. And then we're just going to roll it. And there we go. We got our two little Swiss rolls. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and dust these because we want it to have like that nice little cooked effect. So I'm just going to go around my edges just like this. Okay. Let's do our other side. And then I'm going to do just a tad like that. Okay. So I got both of our Swiss rolls dusted, and so we're going to put the smaller one on one and the bigger one on the other. So how we're going to do that is I'm going to get a little bit of my super glue and just put a little dab on my bottom here. And then we're just going to angle this on our board. Okay, so that's what we got for that one. And for this one, we're going to go ahead and do, I think we're going to go ahead and lay this one flat. Okay, so that's what we got for that one. And then that's what we got for that one. So then the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and just add some easy little, these are just bananas. I used a mold for these, but these are banana slices. And we're just going to go ahead and stack these up. Okay. Okay, so that's what we got for that one. And then this is what we got for this one. So now what I have is I have these little banana pieces that I got. I got these from Amazon. They come in a pack like this. And so I'm just going to go ahead. We're making a banana Swiss roll. So I'm just going to put a little bit of super glue on the flat side of my banana. And then just find about where you want to put this. And I'm just going to put a little dab of super glue just to make sure that sticks good. Okay, so that's what we got. So I want to make a cute little drink to go with our little boards here. So we're going to make like a little banana shake type of thing. And so what we're going to do for this, these are little cups I got off Amazon, and we're going to go back in with our sugar cookie color. And all we're going to do, you don't need glue or anything, is we're just going to press that in there. And you just want to bring your finger along the sides, and you want to make sure that you press any bubbles out so it looks nice and full inside your cup. Okay. Just like that. I'm going to put a little bit more. Just like this. Okay. And so that's what we have. Okay. Okay, so we got both of our cups ready. So the next thing that I want to do for this project is I have some of this is the yellow simulation jelly that you can get this in my Etsy shop as well. And we're just going to start embellishing. I've already clipped the tip off, and we're just going to treat it like we're actually piping a real pastry. So we're going to start with our cups, and I am just going to do a little circle around I'm just going to follow my edge here. Okay, just like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go up and down, doing smaller and bigger as we go around. Let some fall, really droop, and give it that effect like your lemon or your banana filling is coming over your sides. I'm going to bring this in just a little bit more to fill that in. Okay, and we're going to leave that open because the next thing that I want to do for this is I want to use, this is the two-tone cream clay. And what we're going to do is I would like to try to put a little whip on top. Let's give it a nice little whip. Just like that. Okay. Then what I want to do is get another one of my bananas. I have my my clay bananas that I made. I'm going to take one of them and just cut it in half with my scissors. Okay. And I think what I'm going to do is, let's see, what side do I want my front to be? So I'm going to make this my front, and I'm just going to tuck that little banana slice just like that. And then I'm going to take, and this acts as an adhesive, so you don't need super glue. As long as you're putting this on wet, this will adhere very well. And there we go. We got our little banana Swiss roll milkshake. Okay, so now you can put little faces on this if you want to. So then what I want to do I'll show you with our small one here, is we're just going to embellish it really just the same way. And what I'm going to do is I just want to add a little bit of my goo right here. Okay. And then I'm going to bring some like this. And this is just your preference wherever you think you need a little bit of your filling. That's where you should put it. Okay. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Okay, so I think that one looks good. And let's go ahead and work on our big one here. This one, I'm going to do, I think, a little splat on the side like this. And then we're going to put some right in here, I think. And we want to fill just like that. And then I think we're going to put a little bit up here as well. And you just decorate this however you want, okay? So I think I'm going to put one more little splat right here. And then we're going to go in and just put a little bit in there as well. So this is what we have for our bigger one. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and we'll add our frosting, and then we'll finish our little embellishments. So I'm going to show you, one of these I want to turn into a character, and one I'm just going to leave the way that it is. And so what we're going to do is, I think for our smaller one, we're going to go ahead and put some little faces on our cup and on our Swiss roll. So how you do that is, for the clay face, you can use Aleene's clear tacky glue. Okay, and let me just find where I want to put my eyes. Just put a little dab of glue. Okay, and then we're gonna, these are eyes that I sell in my Etsy shop. And we're just gonna put one on. And put the other one on. Make sure you give it a good press. Okay. Now after we do that, what I want to do is I'm going to give him a little tiny nose. And that's just a little bit of our sugar cookie color. Okay. And we're just going to put that right on there like that. And there we go. So now I want to put a face also on my shake that's going to go with my set. And for this, you're going to need to use super glue, okay? Because this is a hard plastic surface. So that's why you want to use super glue. So I'm going to get one of my eyes, and I'm just going to put a little tiny dab. Be careful. And then gently stick it on there. That's one eye, okay? Now let's get our other eye. Little tiny dab. Stick it on there. Okay. And we're going to take a little bit more of our sugar cookie color. And then we're going to also put a little tiny dab of super glue where you're going to put your nose. Okay, now this one we're going to give him a little smile. And how I do that is I use the Sharpie, and we're just going to draw on a little smile. Now I think for this, I'm going to embellish this just a little bit more, and I'm going to take a little bit more of my clay, roll it in a ball, and we're going to do our little cut it in half trick. So you have 2 even pieces of clay, okay? Then what I'm going to do is put a little tiny dab right there. Put a little tiny dab. Put your other cheek on. Okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put some little cheeks on our Swiss roll. Now this, our clay is still wet, so you shouldn't need glue, but you can put glue on. Now I will say, if you're going to do faces, put your face on before you start decorating with your jellies and stuff, because it'll make it a whole lot easier for you. So there we go. We got that little face, and we got that little face, and it's looking pretty cute. Okay, so I got these all embellished, and just be careful when you're picking these up. You can put these on a piece of parchment if you're worried about ruining them. I just put some of our little whip there, and a couple little bananas. Let me show you this one. So just be careful. It's a lot easier to handle if you put it on the parchment. So that's that one. Okay. And the last step to this is I wanted to add some of our white chocolate shavings. And so since everything is still wet, we're just going to go ahead and tack these right on. I'm going to put one down in there. And then I think we're going to put one maybe right on top. Okay. And let's go ahead and put some on this one. See? All right, I'm going to add a few more here. Maybe one more next to our nainer here. And then I think we're going to call that one good. So we have this, our little Swiss roll, banana Swiss roll, and drink set. This is super easy, super duper fun project. Okay. And I'm going to finish these up, and then we're just going to add the last little step. So the last thing we're going to do to embellish our little country cutter board is we're going to add a little bit of this homespun on here. This is just fabric. I got mine from Hobby Lobby. Okay, and we're just going to make a little bow. I'm going to attach this and with some super glue, and then I will show you how I made my bow. So I think on this one, I'm going to put my bow right here. Okay, get all this moved out of the way. So that's what that looks like. Okay, and you just kind of adjust it how you want it to lay. Okay, and there we go. Look how cute that is. Okay, so now let me show you. This is just you just cut a little bit into your fabric and then rip it to get like this kind of tethered look. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to make a loop, wrap it around, make us a little bow. And at this point, this is where you pull it to adjust it to the size that you need, because you don't want your bow too big, but we do want it big enough. So I'm just pulling the tails and then tightening my bow. And then when I get it about where the size that I want it to be, we're just going to clip our edges off. And then we're going to get us some super glue. And then I'm going to put mine on the side of my cup, right on my, where my little handle is. Okay. And here we have our finished project. This is our one set without the faces. I think they came out absolutely adorable. These would be great if you love to decorate really for any style. This would work for farmhouse. This would work for, you know, if you like the cute kawaii or if you like primitive. This would look so cute in your kitchen or on a shelf. And I hope you had fun making these with me. And I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye.